Yo, what up? This is D Knight, and you're listening to the Pardon the Interaction podcast. My oh my, we've had so much going on. For starters, in case you missed it, we've got a new addition to the Pardon Pie family, Tara Dublin. Make sure you go follow her on Twitter at Tara Dublin Rocks. Also, pick up a copy of her book while you're at it. Make her day, The Sound of Settling. A very fun and interesting read compared to the things we talk about on this podcast. But yeah, we're heading toward the do or die time for the 2024 election. Go ahead and hit up JoeBiden.com. Get that man like $1 a month or something. Help his campaign staff up and get prepared to try and save our democracy. And make sure to grab like one other person you know and tell them about the podcast. Make sure they subscribe and tune in every single week. We got a lot of things coming up for you this year. We need all the support that we can get. So if you do your part and help us grow our audience, we'll do our part and help elect Joe Biden in 2024 and save American democracy. And this is the Pardon the Interaction podcast.
I found goldfish. Crunch, crunch, crunch.
And you have all the notes that I sent?
Yeah. Hold on, I'll look at something real quick. Okay, I'm gonna go up to it. Make sure Ty is not here. No, damn it. I'm just reading the section. I see I get the debate section so that you get to hear me say
it works out perfectly.
Yeah.
That's ideal.
Should we tell Ty before we start if she joins on to just like she reads the next one?
No,
just like hop in on the next one, or we'll hear her.
That's if she comes. Who knows? I mean, she might be busy. I don't know what the fuck she's doing. He said it feels dirty in her eye.
Maybe it's Steve's night.
Look, Steve needs attention too. We can't hog all of her time, especially since we're not paying her and we're not giving her any. So,
Neither. All right. We're doing neither of those things.
No, so I totally understand that if some nights were not a top priority. Totally understand. Hey, this is D Knight.
This is Carol.
Ty's missing in action, but you're listening to the part. But you're listening to the Pardon the Interaction podcast. But okay. Side note: we all know the reason why he wanted to go to the Capitol, right? It wasn't just so he could, his followers knew the deal, right? Attack the Capitol, get Pence to declare the election was rigged, and somehow get the false elector votes voted on and make Trump president again. But the reason Trump needed to be there is to celebrate his grand victory like narcissistic fucking dictators do all across the world when they overthrow governments, right? He
probably had a crown in his pocket.
Yes. He needed to give some grand speech on the steps of the Capitol about how he took out the radical Democratic left and saved the country. And, he's dictator forever, president, God, Emperor Trump, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Right. That was the hope. That's why he needed to be there so bad. He thought it would be a made for TV moment where he crowned himself king. It failed, thank God, but that was probably what he had in mind, or at least that's what I imagine. Also,
do you think his crown came from Burger King? Just wait while I get the edges together. Sometimes it's really hard to open the little slit, and then just the perforation is okay. Got it. He doesn't know any other words.
Well, I mean, he did want to have it his way, so it's entirely possible he came prepared with the Burger King crown. Hutchison testified that Ornato told her Trump said something to the effect of, quote, "I'm the effing president. Take me up to the Capitol now." Oh, I guess I could do the Trump voice. I'm sorry. Let me start over. Hutchison testified that Ornato told her Trump said something to the effect of, "I'm the fucking president. Take me up to the Capitol now. Take me now. Jive, bitches." Hutchison also testified Ornato said that when Trump was told he had to return to the White House, he reached up to the front of the vehicle to grab the steering wheel, prompting Engel to grab his arm, and that then Trump used his free hand to lunge toward Engel. She said Engel was in the room when Ornato told her this and did not dispute it at all. Other witnesses who would testify in the coming weeks include Kimberly Cheadle, The current Secret Service director, who served as assistant director of protective operations on January 6th, she should have some insight into all the fuckery that was going on that day inside the Secret Service. Also, Anthony Guglielmi, current chief of communications. Timothy Goebbels, man, his name sounds awfully close to a pretty awful fucking Nazi. Not that I'm making any accusations of Timothy. Anyway, Timothy Goebbels, the lead of former Vice President Mike Pence's security detail, and the unnamed driver of Trump's vehicle on that day. Oh man, we have a clusterfuck here, Carol. If there was some kind of massive conspiracy inside the Secret Service to, if not aid the insurrection on January 6th, to not interfere with it, do you believe any of these people will spill the fucking beans and start throwing each other under the bus? Because I believe that's what we'll get here.
I imagine that the underlying crime is bad enough, and then they have all this evidence that they've willfully deleted the evidence, and I don't know.
Yeah, tampering with evidence, obstruction of justice. Yeah, there you go, whole thing.
One of those guys wants to go to jail less than he wants to, be with Trump and get COVID for the 50th time. Right?
Wait, how many times? how many Secret Service agents got COVID?
Wasn't it like 1,500? Oh, was it? Am I making that up? It could be.
I honestly don't know. I remember whatever the number was when I looked at it in December of 2020, about how so many Secret Service agents had gotten COVID in the past months, because they had been traveling around the world to do these fucking Nazi rallies with Trump. I was like, how do we even have any active Secret Service agents? Like, this seems like a fucking threat to national security. Like, there's no one out here to protect anybody. I don't know what Kimberly Cheadle may or may not know specifically about what was going on January 6th. But she can definitely explain what the fuck happened to all the deleted messages and emails and whatnot that the Secret Service was supposed to turn over and didn't.
You think her explanation will have anything to do with the GOP's favorite constitutional amendment? The fifth.
Well, for a second there, I was thinking, isn't the Second Amendment their favorite amendment? Because they only care about that one. Nope, it's the Fifth. I mean, at this point, what would Republicans do without the Fifth Amendment? They'd be out here admitting to all their fucking crimes in court.
They're just lying more. Anyway.
I mean, is it even possible for them to lie more than they've been lying? I don't even feel. I mean, they've set world records at this point. I don't think they could lie any more than they possibly are.
No, lies and threats, and that's our next topic.
Sex, lies, and deleted Secret Service text messages. All right. Anyway.
Yeah. So we have Trump issuing threats against the media. I will read it in detail first. It's your pithy headline.
Oh, you can spoil it if you'd like.
That thing to say. You say those words.
Trump threatens the media with imprisonment and gang rape. Watch the media choose gang rape.
That was your joke to read.
Sorry.
During a rally over the weekend, former President Donald Trump suggested that journalists who publish stories about government leaks should be imprisoned and threatened with the possibility of being sexually assaulted in order to coerce them into naming their sources. Holy shit. This guy's a fucking sociopath, man.
Yeah. You didn't realize how bad it was until you read it out loud.
No, man, this person does not deserve to be alive.
It's wild. That's why I had to include it, because it's like, this is off the rails.
Yeah. So his comments were in reference to journalists who reported on the leak of a Supreme Court draft outlining the decision to overturn abortion rights established in the 1973 decision Roe v. Wade. Although publishing the leaked documents is legal, save for a very few or limiting circumstances, not all states have quote unquote shield laws that prevent the government from forcing journalists to reveal their sources. Quote, You take
I
the
got this
writer
part, Carol.
and publisher. You were going to read the quote. I was just talking and I'm going away now.
You take the writer and or the publisher of the paper and you say, who is the leaker? National security. And when this person realizes that he's going to be the bride of a prisoner very shortly, he will say, I very much would like to tell you exactly who the leaker is.
That accent went all over the place. I didn't even realize when I started reading it that it was going to be Trump. So my bad. You should have written in dumb Trumpy voice.
Well, I didn't intend for you to. I didn't intend for you to read that. Anyway, I mean, if you'd like to do your Trump
prison
impression.
bride. I thought that these Republicans were all about being good Christian practitioners. A prison bride between two men. That's. How could they advocate for that? They're so hypocritical.
I mean, we finally found a way to get them to be pro-gay marriage. I didn't have that on my batshit fuckery bingo card for 2022, but here we are.
So now you love when two men get married.
And they don't care which one of them gets to be the bride. It just totally dismantles their whole argument about gender identity, right? Man, these fucking people, look, it's not even that it's crazy that Trump said it. Because look, let's face it, he says crazy fucking insane shit all the time. What's really crazy is the media was just like, meh. Like, no, that's you guys. Your asses are going to be in prison. Like, it's circle jerking a bunch of fucking inmates for Trump. Look, you guys have to make a choice. Like, it's a very clear decision. Like, there's no ambiguity about it. Like, you either have to pick democracy, and by democracy, I actually mean being like pro-Democratic Party, or you're picking this shit where the other guys, the bad guys, are going to lock you up on some bogus ass charges and have you sucking Tiny's dick for months because you didn't give up your. Like, it's not really. I say it's not really a tough decision, but they can't seem to make the right one. They're still out here both siding this shit. It drives me insane. I'm sorry. I had to vent.
Maybe they've already taken the threat and they're taking the pay. It would explain a lot of this like terrible journalism we've been seeing.
I mean, or they're like excited about Tiny's dick. I don't know. Which one is it? Like, is it a nice dick? Like, does he have like...
No, we've already heard the details, but it was not. Even though it would be unpleasant for like 5 or 6 seconds and then it would be over. But
no, not that Tiny. I'm talking about prison Tiny. You know, the dudes in jail with the ironic names that are like the total opposite of it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, okay. Tiny is some like 6'4", 260 pound muscled monster who's got like the prison build. Yeah.
Do you know if he already has a prison wife?
Anyway, on to the Oath Keeper trial, because that's a thing.
Is there a Mrs. Tiny? That's what I should have said. Okay, go on.
Not only is the media ignoring direct threats to like themselves, they're also not making a big deal about an Oath Keeper seditious conspiracy trial, which you would think, considering we have so very few of those, and it's a historic occasion, that they would care more. Nope, not the case. But pardon the insurrection cares. Oath Keepers. The Justice Department attorneys who've charged Oath Keepers founder Stuart Rhodes and several allies with plotting to forcibly prevent Joe Biden from taking office. January 6th continues to come up. It's a running theme on this podcast. Get used to it. They reconstructed the group's movements in the days before January 6th as members from across the country drove to Washington, D.C. with a massive arsenal of firearms intel. They also introduced a bevy of text messages. An FBI special agent's testimony in the Oath Keepers trial revealed that members of the far-right militia became increasingly impatient while waiting for then President Donald Trump to deputize his supporters and stop the joint session of Congress from counting the Electoral College votes. These fuckers were out here committing the crime that's closest to treason. And they were like, yeah, Donald Trump is going to make us he's going to fucking deputize us. We're going to be his own personal fucking arm, his own personal fucking militia. Yeah, you fucking geniuses. Either Trump gets off his ass. That's why there's a trial, because they're so smart that they got away with it.
Well, yeah, these are the ones these are the ones who fucking believe it. They were most of these guys are acting in good faith. It's just they're following a sinking ship down into hell.
It's the Titanic of stupidity. Quote, either Trump gets off his ass and uses the Insurrection Act to defeat the Chi-Com, that's Chinese communist, puppet coup, or we'll have to rise up in insurrection against the Chi-Com puppet Biden. Oath Keepers founder Stuart Rhodes wrote in December 2020 text message falsely claiming that President Joe Biden's victory was the result of a plot by the Chinese Communist Party. Oath Keeper member Megs also texted on December 6, 2020 saying, 100 guys go to prison, 1,000 guys get in a battle, 10,000 guys get in a war. 72 million is a massive patriotic movement. These dumb fuckers also don't understand how math works. I feel like anyway, also 72 million people, that would be a war. That's the war. Also, a former Oath Keeper told prosecutors that in the weeks leading up to January 6th, Rhodes told him and his fellow Oath Keepers to be prepared to secure the perimeter of the White House. Carol, why the fuck were they trying to plan to secure the fucking White House? What are these fucking doofuses thinking? I'm sorry. Rhodes told them to be prepared to secure the perimeter of the White House and use lethal force to stop anyone, including members from the National Guard, from removing Trump from the building.
Why wouldn't be doing that on January 6th? That's great.
Well, they were intending to stay in D.C. for the foreseeable future. See, right. The plan wasn't just January. Yeah, it was January 6th. All right. We started this commotion. We've interrupted the process of transferring power to Biden. All right. Now we got to physically keep Trump in office. They're going to hold hands around the fucking White House.
My trauma blocked that memory away. Now I'm remembering. I remember it.
These dipshits think that they were going to stop the fucking army from coming to... No one thought this out. Did they even bring any catapults or cats to launch in them? I mean, they had guns, but I don't feel like even with 1,000 of these dudes at the White House, I mean, I guess it would be a fucking international spectacle to watch a bunch of right-wing nut jobs get blasted away on the West Lawn. What were their
plans for, how long do you think the White House is stocked for supplies for a siege? How long could it withstand a siege?
Well, I don't know. Best guess, a month and a half.
Yeah, so what is that? Okay, well, whatever.
I would imagine there are contingency plans in place just for the worst case scenario. So say a foreign adversary launched an attack on DC, and the White House was under siege, and the president and his staff and various people in the White House needed to fortify the building and maybe, I don't know, survive some kind of protracted amount of conflict. I mean, it seems only prudent that they would plan to have enough supplies to at least get them through a month, if not more. And I don't have this shit game theoried out. That's just a conservative estimate on my part. Who knows? Who knows what the fuck the plan is? Who knows what they have in place? I don't even know what's in that bunker. But I just remember, I remember when Trump went down there because he was so scared of the protesters that Biden and Obama were laughing about that shit. They were like, we haven't even knocked the dust off that thing. No one's been down there. No one's ever been down there until Trump. But that just lets you know how much of a fucking pussy he is. He's like, oh, it's the protesters. Let me go tuck my tail between my legs and go hide in the bunker.
On the other hand, I mean, maybe he was right to be scared because he got fucking pissed.
Hey, look.
Anyway,
it's not our side that's out here trying to assassinate our political rivals. That's what they do.
I would not consider Trump a political rival. I would consider him like a fucking terrorist, tyrant, threat to humanity of the whole fucking world.
Okay,
so
you're absolutely right. I undersold it.
Yeah. But anyway, speaking of,
I'll handle this.
Whatever I was talking about.
Next topic: Oathkeeper lawyer banging Oathkeeper founder. Is that why Trump is taking couple pics with his lawyer? After you.
Yeah. So we saw that nice pic. Which lawyer was that on the plane?
Alina Habba.
Elena Habba. This isn't the topic. I just saw her.
She's the one who looks
picture
slightly
of her
more
posing with Trump on the plane.
Yeah, in a weird angle. She's seated. Trump is like standing next to her with his crotch aimed at her face.
And I thought it was Melania, and it was like it looked like a couple's photo, not like.
Very much staged, yeah, and also Alina is the one that looks slightly more Eastern European than the other one. That's the only way I can tell you how to tell them apart. Oh, and Haba has like some blonde highlights now, so she kind of.
So they needed that differentiation.
No,
anyway.
it's her hair is still dark. There's just like these little bits of blonde highlights in the middle of her hair. So there you go.
I know your feelings for her are confusing, and it's something everyone goes through when there's a beautiful monster nearby. Anyway,
I don't feel anything in particular for Haba other than pity.
All right.
No.
I'm not having the pity either. Anyway, so we have Oathkeeper founder Stuart Rhodes and the far-right militia group's lawyer sent each other sexually explicit text messages in the days leading up to the Capitol riot because insurrection really gets them wet in the loins.
Insurrectionists need love too.
I'm uncomfortable now. Quote, speaking of fucking, if you need some, come on over, Rhodes eloquently texted General Counsel Kelly Sorrell on January 2nd, 2021.
Great line.
These guys they're like, no one wants to fuck us because no one likes nice guys. So come on over if you need some fucking. According to a message shown in court, maybe I'll drag you into my hotel room and throw you on the bed then.
I'm glad I let you read this.
Yeah, this is fun for me.
Delightful.
Sorrell, in a text message shown in court, responded, see, that's how I know you're in trouble. You're too good at what you do. Whole bad boy thing, I'm a damn moth to a flame. I really am replaying my teenage years. Oh, the teenage years of Republican chastity.
Okay,
what she meant.
Wait. Let's try this again. I'm going to read Stuart Rhodes' part, and then you read Sorrell's part, okay?
Wait, it's just he says maybe. Who says maybe I'll drag you? That's him?
That's Rhodes.
Okay, he's just didn't even wait for another message.
All right, here we go. Speaking of fucking, if you need some, come on over. Maybe I'll drag you into my hotel room and throw you on the bed then.
See, that's how I know you're in trouble. You're too good at what you do. Whole bad boy thing. I am a damn moth to a flame. I really am replaying my teenage years.
I mean, what dudes were dragging her into a hotel room when she was a teenager? That's some weird shit.
That's fucked up.
That's some creepy shit. And they're like, oh, stop the pedophiles, huh? Stop. Save the kids. Save the kids.
According to his wife, this is awkward. The reason he can no longer wear a prosthetic eye is because after he shot himself in the face, he never showered and never took the fake eye out to clean it, and it got infected. Oh no. That's such a typical sorry, men not cleaning their eye. Only pussies clean their eye infection holes. I'm straight. I'm a patriot. I'm going to let my eye rot.
Showers are for pussies.
Because that's what Trumpy Jesus would have done.
Only fucking libtard losers shower. Right.
If you wipe your own butt, you're gay.
All right. Well, just picture this. Sorrel having sex with Stuart Rhodes, who doesn't shower.
Or speculation, wipe his butt.
Well, if he doesn't wipe his eye, like, how the fuck would...
And remember, kids, you want to clean your eye with the rag before you clean your butt with it. Don't use the same rag. Don't clean your eye with a rag.
Men out there, if you're planning on hooking up, like, for one, wear protection, but like, two, shower first. It's proper etiquette. Just like, get some soap, some hot water, like, wash all over, wash your ass twice, just in case. Also put on some lotion. That's a big one. A lot of guys skip that step. And be sure to wear deodorant. I mean, I feel like I shouldn't have to point this out, but clearly Stuart Rhodes needs this advice. If you have a prosthetic eye, make sure you pull that out, clean that out, get you some rubbing alcohol, sterilize that shit, right? And then I'm guessing because he's a Republican, also pop your blue pill an hour in advance. There you go. That's some important information.
Does he currently have a wife? Because his wife, from this quote alone, seems to, not like him.
They may or may not be divorced. I don't know. But this is a quote from a couple of years ago when she was being interviewed about his fucking asinine behavior. Yeah. Perfect. All righty. Next topic. Classified documents included U.S. secrets about China and Iran. If you thought it couldn't get any more insane than it was, you were wrong. You were wrong. The trove of documents seized from former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence contained sensitive intelligence about Iran and China, according to the Washington Post. Some of the information recovered included intelligence gathering methods that the United States would want to keep hidden from the world. And at least one of the documents describes the Iran missile program, according to the report. It's not fucking good. Sources and methods, like if that shit is exposed to the public or to foreign adversaries, like that could get our spies killed, which is bad. It's not good. Again, like Mission Impossible, Ethan Hunt, the knock list. Can't let that shit get out into the open. It's not great. Sensitive intelligence regarding China was also found among Trump's stolen documents, and experts say the unauthorized disclosure of such documents could harm U.S. intelligence efforts or may even spark retaliation from other countries. See, I told you.
I was worried that we weren't already in a precarious enough position in terms of geopolitical stuff and diplomacy. So I'm glad that we have some extra shit. Just throw that on top of the Russia shit show, it's good.
It's not ideal. Let me think here. What is the ideal way to describe this? It's like the national security version of the TikTok fire challenge, where you coat your body in flammable liquids and then proceed to set yourself on fire and record it and upload it to the internet. It's the equivalent of that. It's fun times.
I just had a random idea. Now that you're on TikTok, we'll do a vote Democrat even though you're really Republican challenge.
I don't know if that's going to pick up steam. Like, how do we make an interesting, exciting challenge video for people? Like, all right, take a selfie of yourself as you're voting blue. Oh, that was wild. That was crazy. Yeah, I don't really understand. Yeah. So that idea is off the table. It was a nice try, though.
Yeah. Don't take pictures of yourself voting unless you're a Republican.
Look, we'll brainstorm. We'll get some ideas together for 2024. 2022 is basically in the bag here. All right, next topic. Merrick Garland announces indictments of Chinese nationals for espionage, bribery, and obstruction.
All right, so the Biden administration is intensifying its efforts to put the spotlight on alleged covert operations by the Chinese government in the United States. unveiling a trio of criminal cases on Monday that included one in which Chinese operatives were accused of attempting to pay bribes for inside information about high-profile prosecution of Chinese telecommunications giant Huawei.
I thought Biden was a Chinese communist shill. Why is he out here indicting the fucking Chinese spies? Something doesn't add up there. Yeah.
Well, 2 Chinese citizens were charged in a criminal complaint in federal court in New York with obstruction of justice after alleges. Damn it. With
It's
obstruction
okay.
of
Words
justice.
are hard. I also struggle. Don't feel bad.
After allegedly offering bribes to an unidentified U.S. government employee for details about an ongoing criminal investigation. The complaint says the U.S. employee worked with the FBI to arrange a sting operation aimed at the 2 defendants, who the FBI alleges are secret Chinese intelligence officers, offering them fake information about the case marked secret. And I added the word secret before Chinese intelligence officers before, but let's assume they are secrets.
No one will notice, or at least they wouldn't have until you just pointed it out. Congratulations.
No one would notice. Nobody noticed. Oh, so the Deputy Attorney General, Lisa Monaco, offered particular praise for the unidentified U.S. government employee who spent at least 4 years as a, quote, double agent, stringing along the alleged Chinese government representatives at the behest of the FBI. The insider flipped the scripts on the defendants by working not for them, but for Team America, Monaco said. Maybe I should have made it sound.
I don't think that, anyway, look, so I got a couple takeaways from this story. Those of you out there listening, not 3 minutes ago, I referred you to a story about Trump being in possession of top secret classified documents pertaining to China.
Yeah, I thought that was a big coincidence too.
Strange. And then immediately after that, we find out that the DOJ indicts a bunch of Chinese spies for attempting to get access to, you guessed it, classified intelligence. I wonder if there's some connection there. Might DOJ be trying to send a signal to someone? That's entirely possible, right? Well, it's also funny that in this case, it hinged on, you guessed it, a double agent who was playing both sides, or whatever the fuck Sean Connery said in the fucking Rock or whatever it was. Yeah. So, I don't know if that's a hint. I don't know if that's like foreshadowing, as they do in like these fucking incredible spy movies where you kind of get a clue early on in the movie about what the plot twist will be before you get to the climax here. But yeah, DOJ is like, we ain't fucking around with this espionage shit, and beware, people on the inside may or may not be working on your behalf. Keep
also, we, not for nothing, appointed a couple more prosecutors in that area.
Yeah, we got a new national security prosecutor added to the team that's investigating the Mar-a-Lago documents case. So that's something to look forward to. I can't tell you specifically what that means, but I do imagine they wouldn't be adding prosecutors who specialize in this. They weren't planning on bringing charges. Can't guarantee you that they're going to charge Trump himself. Although I personally do believe that inevitably charges will come and they will be directed at Trump. But you can guarantee at some point the people involved in the plot to not only remove the documents from the White House and store them in Mar-a-Lago, but also the people who tried to interfere in the attempted recovery by the FBI of those documents. Those people are certainly going to be charged with obstruction, if not more. And eventually,
well, I mean, is there really any evidence? It's not as though those people were caught on video that the FBI has. Right?
Well, it's funny you say that. They were actually caught on video.
What?
Yeah, but I've got one even better for you. Next topic.
I love it. I'd love to hear it.
Trump worker told FBI about moving Mar-a-Lago boxes on ex-president's orders.
I'm making a face like,
Carol, I can see you, but they can't. A Trump employee has told federal agents about moving boxes of documents in Mar-a-Lago at the specific direction of the former president. Whew. Just that sentence alone sounds bad. According to people familiar with the I can't speak. Let me try that again. A Trump employee has told federal agents about moving documents. Why am I putting these two words together? A Trump employee has told federal agents about moving boxes of documents in Mar-a-Lago at the specific direction of the former president. See, I can speak. According to people familiar with the investigation, who say the witness account combined with security camera footage. Bing! There you go, Carol. Your security camera footage that you so effortlessly alluded to earlier. It offers key evidence of Donald Trump's behavior as investigators sought the return of classified materials. The witness description and footage describe the Washington Post offer the most direct account to date of Trump's actions and instructions leading up to the FBI's August 8th search of the Florida residence and private club, in which agents were looking for evidence of potential crimes, including obstruction, destruction of government records, or mishandling classified information. The people familiar with the investigation said agents have gathered witness accounts indicating that after Trump advisors received a subpoena in May for any classified documents that remained in Mar-a-Lago, Trump told people to move boxes to his residence at the property. That description of events was corroborated by the security camera footage, like Craig on Friday. It kind of looked like the back of your head, which showed people moving the boxes, said the people who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss the ongoing investigation. Well, they got the fuckers on tape, and someone's telling them, hey, I ain't going to jail. Trump told me to do this shit. You go get that guy. Get the orange guy. He did it. Carol is figuratively blowing smoke up my ass. Well, she's literally blowing smoke.
It's vapor. Okay. Smoke. And I've never met this man before in my life. He's lying, right?
Carol, visual jokes are incredibly funny, but they can't see them on a podcast.
Oh, so yeah, before D could say no, who thinks we should start, putting the videos of our podcast on YouTube? Let us know. And is there a comment section? Smash like and subscribe.
Yeah, hit like, subscribe to the podcast, and comment below whether or not you'd like to see video content on YouTube. I'm actually too lazy to edit the video.
It'll just be like 2 hours of me and D talking
on
to
Zoom,
each other, and like me making stoned faces. It's really great. I mean,
and me looking like a total moron in like a t-shirt and some pajama pants. It'll be fantastic. No one actually wants to see that.
It's a nice t-shirt.
Well, actually, I don't know. They're gray pants. Yeah, I hear that's a thing. Maybe the people, some individuals out there might actually want to see that for whatever fucking reason. I can't imagine why. Yep, but it's a potential option in the future. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you think. Maybe we'll implement that in the future.
I mean, they're not for nothing, but there is a video recording going simultaneously.
You'll never see this one.
Not this one.
Okay, well, that covers our headlines for the past week and a half or so. Carol, do you happen to have any closing thoughts?
In case this is our last show before the midterms, let's make another one. But
fingers
get
crossed.
the fuck out there, do something, man. Volunteer. I have like crippling anxiety with approaching people who I think if I'm posing on them. I know you think I don't have crippling anxiety because I seem like bubbly. But
yes, you seem very, very perky and fun and engaging. And
yes, well, I had the margarita and the vape to help me and the Lexapro, but get out there, do something. So my point is, I hate fucking knocking on doors, but Sean Patrick Maloney's campaign called and asked if I would knock on doors, and I couldn't say no because you shouldn't, and be a little uncomfortable now. Then it's better than being like, if you're worried about the discomfort of talking to people at their door, you're not going to like living in fascism. Like, now we still have a chance. Get out there, do what you can. We need to fucking win this. There's no option otherwise.
No.
Plus, they'll cancel our show when they throw us in the scary bad journal prisons.
I mean, you say that as a joke, but like, I mean,
not really.
So my friend Allison, who happens to host the Muller She Wrote / Daily Beans podcast, was a government employee at the time that she began hosting her podcast, but she did so anonymously as to not violate any rules or regulations such as the Hatch Act. But Trump's people still managed a way to try and use their influence to go after her as far as her job was concerned, to either force her to quit or put her in such a compromising position as to which she wouldn't be able to continue doing her podcast. Well, as you well know, if you follow me, you're probably well aware of her. It didn't work, and her podcast is extremely successful. But I just say that to say, hey, it's not entirely out of the question that should these fucking morons get back in power, that they won't come after us. Even our dumbasses, they'll even come after our dumbasses. But yeah, as for my closing thoughts, I generally try to come up with something unique and different every week, if at all possible. But given that the midterms are around the corner, I'll do the generic, hey, would you please get your fucking ass off the goddamn couch and go cast the fucking ballot? Do it for democracy. I don't give a fuck about your gas prices. I will pay $50 a gallon to live free. I don't know about you, but like, given the history of my ancestors and the experiences they had in the past with, a total lack of freedom, I don't want to go back. I ain't going back. You ain't gonna make me go back. Maybe some of you out there don't share the same concerns that I have. I'm warning you now. It can happen to you. Don't think you're safe from these potential consequences. It can get really bad out there. Just because America hadn't been in a position where every single citizen has been subjected to the rule of authoritarians doesn't mean it can't happen. It can. It can happen here. It will happen here if you don't do something to save the fucking day. We cannot necessarily rely on the government or the law enforcement agencies such as the FBI to save us from this horrible fate. We have to do our part and save ourselves and make sure they're in a position to continue cleaning up the mess. Go vote blue, up and down the ballot, drag your friends with you, drag your family, get out the message, get on your Facebook, fuck them pictures of them ugly babies and that crappy ass dinner you cooked, and instead encourage someone to do their part to save democracy. It's more important than these fucking dumbass posts. Like, I can't stress it enough. We're depending on you. Make it happen. Please, we can do this. And if you're feeling down about our chances, due to the influx of some right-wing funded polling that makes things appear potentially closer than they actually are, I would direct you to look at the early voting statistics that weigh heavily in our favor, at least so far. We have to keep that up, though. That's not to say that we should be complacent because the early voting numbers are good. That's to say that it's possible. We haven't lost yet, and you can do what you can to ensure the survival of our democracy. And that's what I'm asking you to do. And I think that concludes this episode of Pardon the Insurrection. Again, please hit like and subscribe, and also leave a comment. For those other people out there who are pondering whether or not they should listen to this podcast, they will look at those reviews to inform their decision on whether or not to hit play. And I think we do a fairly good job of informing and entertaining you. And I'm sure that if they do decide to listen, they will stick around and also do their part. We'll get back to you next week.
Bye.